Whoa! If it isn't young Tiz, hero of Caldisla.
It's been too long, Your Highness.
That it has. 2 whole years since you collapsed and were whisked off to Eternia. We worried about you, lad. It is good to see you back among us. This calls for a celebration. The savior of our kingdom, no, of our world, has returned to us.
3 cheers for Tiz! Huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah!
Long live the king! Long live our savior!
You're too kind. I wasn't expecting such a royal welcome.
Amazing, sir. The soldiers love you, and even the king depends on you.
Today is truly a joyous day. We must prepare a great feast. Bring the finest meats and cheeses and...
Oh! Tiz! Ilia!
Egil! I hardly even recognized you.
Junior Captain Egil, do you have something to report?
You bet I do! Forgive me, Your Highness. I come bearing urgent news!
Let us hear it, my boy.
There have been sightings of a great beast at Lantano Villa to the north, sire.
What's that you say?
A great beast?
We the youth brigade would be honored to investigate for our king. We request permission to set out at once.
Wait, Your Highness.
You object to this, Tiz?
We'll go investigate the rumors. Listen, Egil. The captain of the guard doesn't go looking for foes to conquer. It's not his job to rack up heroic deeds. His job is to keep his men in order, that they can protect the king and the people.
But...
Yes, our Captain Owen, may his soul rest in peace, was just as you say. He fought against his own urges to seek battle and glory, that he might better protect the castle and his countrymen. Junior Captain Egil, leave this task to Tiz. Surely the hero of Norende can handle it. Let us focus our energies on defending this fair city, for it is a duty that captains and kings both share.
Your Highness. Tiz!
Egil! Why, look how you've grown.
Tiz, would you care to introduce us?
Of course, this is Egil. He's like, a little brother to me.
A little... brother.
We met him in Eisenberg, in the mines. There were a lot of things. Long story short, we ended up bringing him to live here in Caldisla.
And now you're junior captain of the guards. You must have worked hard the past 2 years.
That's quite the accomplishment. I'm Yu Genioja.
Yu's a captain of sorts, too. He leads the Crystal Guard's own 3 Cavaliers.
The leader of the 3 Cavaliers? That's amazing! You must be like the best of the best! So, why are you hanging out with someone like Tiz here?
As smart-mouthed as ever, I see. Yu's a good friend of ours. I guess you could say he's like a slightly older, younger brother.
Tiz, is anyone not like a brother to you?
Junior Captain, the city garrison needs to be put through its paces.
Yes, sir! I'm on my way!
Good luck to you, Junior Captain.
Thanks. You guys take care too, okay?
Well, I guess that cinches it.
Let's go look into that monster.
Lontano Villa lies up to the north. I'll mark our map.
We have to get to the bottom of this. What's that?
It's
the Rub-a-Dub!
Finally! Splish splash, it's time for a bath!
Miss Sakura, you're all right.
I was out collecting the laundry when that pillar of light suddenly appeared. I don't remember precisely what happened, but the Rub-a-Dub started spinning and spinning like bathwater going down a drain. The next thing I knew, we were plunked down right in the middle of the ocean. It took more than a week to fix all the damage done to the baths and the boiler. This is the first time we've seen land since the whole disaster began. Ah, la vache! Talk about survival skills.
You've been through quite the ordeal. We'll take over from here, so you just take it easy.
Take it easy? This is no time to take anything easy. On our way here, we came across the biggest school of fish I've ever seen.
Did you say fish?
Our tanks are fit to burst with delights of the sea. I've already begun preparing the sashimi boats and writing up the menus. Tonight we'll be serving the bathhouse's super deluxe seafood banquet.
I knew we saved the world for a reason.
So you have come, my daughter.
Brave Lee, Grand Marshal of the Eternian Forces, and holder of the Templar Asterisk. The ruling hand of the Duchy, And, closer to home, Idia's stern but loving father. After a long and bloody war, peace between the Duchy and the Crystal Orthodoxy is finally within reach. What wisdom do you suppose he wishes to impart to you now?
No. You come to me as Idia Lee, Knights Captain of the Eternian Ducal Guard.
Father, what are you doing here?
Answer me this. Are you prepared to succeed me? Are you ready to rule a nation?
Father?
In olden times, it was said that a true ruler must possess one of two qualities. The strength to cut down any foe who would stand before him without doubt or hesitation. Or the resolve to defend the multitudes who would cling to him for protection without letting any come to harm. And yet, in many ways, these two powers, these two innate abilities, are opposites of one another.
So you're asking me if I had to choose one?
Just so. Now, I ask you once more, are you truly prepared to take my place, to rule a nation?
Do I have the will to rule? Yes, I do, Father.
Well said. Now, I would know what you believe. Which of these two qualities would you value most for you to rule? Would you choose the power to cut down your foes? If so, go to Everlast Tower and retrieve the Grand Marshal's sword. Or would you value the power to protect your subjects? Then visit the Central Command dungeon and retrieve the Grand Marshal's shield.
The Grand Marshal's sword from Everlast Tower, or the Grand Marshal's shield from the dungeons of Central Command?
When you appear before me as a true ruler, and only then, I shall share with you all that is mine to share.
Yes, Father. Understood, Grand Marshal, sir. Idia Lee, Knights Captain of the Ducal Guard, will not let you down.
Well spoken, my daughter. Now go, and be strong. I shall await you in the Cave of Vestments. Seek me out when you have found your answer.
Spiffy. Ta-ta-da! Shield grilled cave scallop, ducal guard style.
Oh, nice. These are the scallops you collected earlier, right?
Fresh scallops are the best.
And I love the miso butter sauce.
The bed of green onions and bean sprouts really works too. The juice from the scallops soaks into the greens, turning them into a refreshing seafood salad. Like an undersea garden.
By the way, did you say shield grilled?
Yeah, instead of a hot plate, I used the shield here to grill them.
Wow, that's awfully extravagant.
I read that the soldiers in the field would use their shields to grill meat and their helmets to boil potatoes.
How resourceful. I'll have to remember that the next time I'm in the woods without a frying pan. You make a lot of grilled food, Idia. Is that popular among the Ducal Guard?
Sure is. Hearty battlefield fare, fit for heroes. That's always been their motto.
A feast fit for heroes is right.
The Knights of the Ducal Guard have always been like that. Big, strong warriors with even bigger hearts.
It sounds like a proud tradition.
Just like the Sky Knights when I first joined them, I guess.
It must have been a real honor. Is that where you learned to cook Ducal Guard cuisine?
The Eternian 4th Guard Unit, the Sky Knights, was once part of the Ducal Guard. Its commander was none other than Sir Argent Heinkel. This was his shield, passed down from captain to captain.
Oh, so that's the shield you used to... Wait... You used a priceless heirloom to grill scallops?
Darn right. Just have to rinse it off and it'll be good as new. It's what Heinkel would have done.
A meal fit for heroes? More like a meal fit for madmen. What if you were ambushed while you were cooking?
Well, that's why they outlawed deep frying, you know.
Yeah, it'd be like a fire shield, except you'd be the one getting burned.
As commander of the Ducal Guard, Heinkel was sworn to serve Father night and day. Father's the one who taught him how to cook on the battlefield.
So the Templar taught him, and you've inherited their legacy. I suppose that's the Ducal Guard way.
Exactly.
Wait, so all those dishes with way too much sugar and your culinary experiments, they were inherited from the Ducal Guard too?
Huh? What is it?
This mithril shield. I've been holding onto it for my collection. It's the Pope Agnes Ascension Limited Commemorative Edition.
Oh, so that's why it was polished all spiffy. It made the cooking a breeze, I'll tell ya.
But my shield, it's all covered in soot and miso butter.
Hey, guess what, everyone? I've got another special treat for you. Check it out. Scallop soup in a helmet. Ducal Guard style.
Oh no, you didn't.
I sure did. I used the shiniest, best-kept helmet I could...
But that's my Legion helmet. That was my prize for qualifying at the Arena Regionals of the World Fighting Spirit Championships.
You know, it's good that you take care of your things. But the most wasteful thing of all is not to use them.
You want us to take a survey? But what about our food?
We have to do this before dinner, otherwise it won't mean anything.
Okay, but what kind of survey?
Well, let me put it this way. You drinks tea, but not coffee. Tiz and Idia both like coffee, but Idia has a serious sweet tooth. And so it goes for other food and drink.
What you're saying is we all have different tastes. You two were arguing about food just the other day, weren't you?
That's right. One of us is completely deluded and thinks steak should be served with ketchup.
Well, duh, everyone knows that.
No, they don't. It's a travesty. Ketchup is for burgers and fries.
Maybe Magnolia is onto something with this survey idea.
We'll see. So, what do you want to know?
All right, question 1. What do you put on your eggs?
Oh, this is easy.
Oh, I know. Hollandaise. It's gotta be hollandaise sauce, right?
Would you listen to Mr. Hoity-Toity? Everyone knows it's ketchup.
I'm fine with just a dash of salt and pepper.
Sometimes I can't tell if your tastes are refined or just plain boring.
No, he is absolutely right. Good point, sir. The answer is salt and pepper. And hollandaise.
Moving along. Next question. Fried oysters. What do you put on them?
Well, seafood, tartar sauce. End of story.
You can't just lump all seafood together. The right answer is ketchup. And you, Tiz? Let me guess. Salt again?
Oh no, soy sauce for oysters, definitely.
Soy sauce? Ugh, where'd that come from?
That's how Anya's taught me to eat them way back when. I admit, I thought it was kind of weird at the time.
You don't say.
Anyway, next question. Favorite style of ramen?
Ooh, things just got serious. Okay, tsukemen. Oh, no, wait. Tonkotsu. Tonkotsu shoyu.
Not Alcampa noodles?
Huh, that counts as ramen? Well, no, I'm sticking with tonkotsu shoyu.
Well, I like miso, with butter on top, obviously.
And a dash of vinegar too, right?
Tis exactly. Which means you're also...
Sorry, I'm a salt man. I prefer a clear broth to a creamy one. What about you, Magnolia?
Well, since I came to Luxembourg, I've had a lot of ramen, and I mean a lot. And I like them all. Whatever the type, you can't go wrong with ramen.
Hey, no fair. I'm changing my answer then. D, all of the above. Look, are we done? Because I am starved. I'll eat anything, as long as it's now.
Yeah, me too. I'm feeling kind of lightheaded. I have to eat something. I don't care what.
Enfin, the words I was waiting for. Today's menu is Magnolia's special boiled meat and spuds. À la lune.
Gosh, that sounds impressive. But what's a laloon?
Bleak and featureless.
Huh? Did you say something?
Oh, I can't hide it any longer. I'm so sorry. It's a complete disaster. You remember how we put all our herbs and spices in one basket? Well, I must have dropped it somewhere. I've been waiting for you to say you're so hungry you'll eat anything.
Why of all the sneaky tricks?
You return, my friends. A welcome sight. What brings you back to the home of the Sagitta?
The SP cannon has the power to annihilate any foe. If a strong sword is truly needed to rule a people, the Sagitta would know. I would seek your wisdom, Elder.
And I would hope that I have the wisdom you seek, my child.
You have in your village a super weapon capable of blasting balls clear out of the sky.
Yes, I suppose we do.
Well, I was just wondering, do you think you could still lead your people without that power?
So you would follow in your father's illustrious footsteps, Idia Lee. I am a humble elder of a sleepy hamlet in the clouds. I fear my advice would have little value to one who would rule a great nation. But I will answer you. Yes, the SP cannon is a weapon with the power to destroy our mortal foe. Such power might seem excessive and unbefitting our small mountain village. And yet there are Baals everywhere, and they threaten not just our people, but all who live in this world. Left unchecked, these fiends would destroy humanity, and we have the power to stop them. Whether this power is essential to govern my people, I cannot say, but it is a power that I would be a fool to relinquish.
But what if someone tried to use this great power for evil? What then?
This is, of course, a danger. Why, even used in good faith, an artifact of such power can have unforeseen and terrible consequences. But if we rejected this power out of fear, then what would happen to this world? Our foes would still be there, and who would hold them in check? When confronted with an unrelenting foe, what responsible leader would not take weapon in hand and destroy them? Your mind hears my words, yet your heart remains unconvinced.
No, it's not that. It's just...
It is all right, child. It is good to doubt. The question of how best to rule a nation is one with no easy answer.
Maybe the sword is the answer. Father.
It is said that the mystic thread used to weave the garb of the Vestals comes from this cave. But it is more than that to me. This is where your mother and I were once sheltered by the sage of Yoyana. It is the place where we were blessed with a strong, beautiful daughter. And the place where I made my resolve to take back this nation and rule it by my own ideals. Even seeing the faces of the multitudes who had rallied to our cause, our hearts still wavered. Dare we pitch our outnumbered forces against a great religious order, with the power of the crystals at their command? Dare we did. We resolved to overthrow the orthodoxy, capture the Earth Crystal, and seize the throne. But how would we rule this new nation we would forge? How would we lead the world? After 3 days and 3 nights of heated debate, on the morning of the 4th day, I mustered my army.
So this is where it all happened.
I see you have found the Grand Marshal's sword and shield, and yet you have equipped neither. Tell me, Idia, is this how you would answer me?
That's right. This is my answer.
Explain yourself.
As long as a nation exists, it will have enemies, whether or not it seeks them out. A ruler must have the power to fell those who would threaten the people's survival. This is why I sought the Grand Marshal's sword. And every nation has people within its borders, a citizenry that it must protect. To keep its subjects from harm, a ruler must carry a strong, sturdy shield. So, I sought out the Grand Marshal's shield. But when I took these 2 great relics, sword and shield, into hand, I suddenly felt afraid.
You wielded a mighty sword and a stout shield, yet grew fearful. Intriguing.
I thought back to what I had seen in my travels across the realm, and to what I had read in the histories. Stories of men who claimed power to slay their foes, but who forgot the ones they loved, and whose hearts grew cold. Men who gained the power to protect people, but then lost sight of themselves, and grew vain, proud, and complacent. They put too much faith in the power they'd achieved. It became all-consuming. It was all they cared about. That was what I was afraid of.
Justice must be supported by might and authority. But when it is delivered at the point of a sword, it is not but coercion. You are right to fear power. Yes, even power sought in pursuit of justice is not immune from corruption. A stout shield is needed to protect the people in times of war. Yet the true goal should be a world with no need for shields. The noble course is to believe in the ideal. Find that stout shield, yes, but do not bear it. The little bird who left our nest has returned on the strength of her own wings. Along the way you were lost, injured and betrayed. You knew despair and cried in anguish.
We were confused. We doubted everything. We closed our eyes and ears to the world around us.
But you overcame the pain. You raised your head and did not shirk from the truth. You took your troubles in stride.
I met new comrades and knew the warmth of friendship. I was emboldened. I listened. I learned just how much I still had to learn. I felt the love of my master, my friends, my family, and my father, who I always looked up to and strove to follow.
Your journey is over, my daughter. But you have one more trial to face, together with the friends who stand beside you. I am Brave Lee, Grand Marshal of Eternia. This is your final trial. I shall spare no effort, offer no mercy. Begin! Well fought. But your trial has only begun. Well struck, but I will not fall so easily. You have grown strong, my daughter. How strange. For the first time in my life, I feel no regret or frustration in defeat. Perhaps this is what I had hoped for all along.
Father.
It is nothing. For being told I might never wield a sword again, this body served me surprisingly well. Now, you must take this. This is the stave of the Grand Marshal of Eternia. He, nay, she who bears it, holds full authority to rule the duchy.
Rule Eternia? Me?
Yes. You have shown that you possess the strength to cut down your foes, the strength to protect your people, and most of all, the wisdom to know that though you possess both, you need not use either. Go forth and rule in wisdom, Grand Marshal Idia Lee. The future of Eternia, nay, of the world itself, is in your hands.
Yes, Father.
Why, Idia?
Mother? What's going on?
Your father and I have decided to move out here to the woods.
Seriously? But isn't this the Wise One's place?
It certainly is. Or was. From what we've heard, he hasn't been around here in quite some time.
I've been thinking of renaming the place Brave Lee's Needleworks.
And Sage Ileana is okay with this?
Don't worry, dear. The old sage could never get angry at me. But listen, Idia, I'd like you to have a word with your father.
About what?
His armor. Even though we're retired and living here in the woods, he refuses to take it off.
I have grown accustomed to the proper ballast it provides. If I took it off, the next stiff breeze might carry me clear into the sky. I think I'll stay as I am for now.
The Full Metal Seamster, huh? That's gotta be a first.
Sir, the delivery you asked for.
Alternus, I've been waiting for you.
Fabric and thread just as you asked. If you exhaust your supply, simply say the word and I shall procure more.
Thank you, Alternus. You're always so helpful.
And what of the other items I requested?
I have brought them, sir, but are these truly what you were looking for?
Patchwork for apprentices. 100 embroidery patterns for spring and summer. Yes, these are perfect.
You're really serious about this needlework stuff, huh?
Of course. Have you ever known your father not to be serious? For my first project, I believe I shall make you a quilted vest. Then again, Noble Tsuna hinted that he wanted a new tea cozy, and I promised to knit Alternus a woolen scarf.
Before that, the armor.
Dinner is served.
Finally! I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
It's so tender.
This is divine. It's like a little symphony playing in my mouth with every bite. You simply must tell me, Tiz, what is this masterpiece?
Meat?
Hey, come on, Tiz. Magnolia is asking a serious question.
Sorry. How about roasted wild boar with blueberry sauce? The boar shoulder Carl gave us has really aged well.
What's the sweet and sour flavor?
That's blueberry jam. We had some in the stores, so I used it as a rub for the roast.
Oh, right, the stuff I bought but never used.
And what's this on the side? This warm risotto-like stuff.
Rice, mostly.
Tiz, you're doing it again.
Oh, sorry. How about, buttered rice porridge with mushrooms and wild vegetables? I picked a bunch of wild mushrooms and roots when we stopped for lunch the other day. I figured they go well with the buttered rice left over from yesterday.
Buttered rice? From yesterday?
That's right. I used the leftovers from Magnolia's dinner.
Tell me, Tiz, do you have a philosophy de la cuisine?
Huh? Philo what?
A policy. Towards cooking, I mean. Do you have a particular approach? For example, you put lots of effort into presentation.
I do?
But everything is loaded with garlic, and he sticks to simple dressings like ketchup and brown sauce.
She's calling you a one-note cook.
What? Come on, Magnolia. Pull some punches, would you?
Idia, meanwhile, likes the extremes. Sweet things are super sweet. Spicy dishes get a quadruple dose of pepper.
Yep, that's me. Food with a punch.
She's not afraid to explore and experiment, which often results in total disasters.
That sounds familiar. Remember her charcoal on the half shell? And the legendary soup of many colors?
Murgurgur. Look, you have to try new things if you want to improve as a cook.
You were trying to improve?
But I have to say, there's a certain je ne sais quoi about Tiz's food. It's tasty without being flashy, and it has real depth. It makes me wonder, just what is his philosophy? Where did he learn to cook?
I'm pretty sure I don't have a philosophy, and no one ever taught me, per se. I mean, I'm not a gourmet like Idia and you. I don't know about fancy ingredients and dishes.
There must be something. Come on, don't be coy.
Well, one thing I do believe in is not wasting food. Does that count? Like today, I used the boar meat we got and that extra blueberry jam for the roast. Then I had the idea to use up the leftovers from last night's dinner. We just happened to have the mushrooms and wild plants on hand to dress it up.
Magnifique! Tiz, I think you have a wonderful approach to cuisine.
It's nothing special. I just hate to see good food go to waste.
Now that I think about it, you've never made a bad meal. Your dinners are always just right.
Well, I'm not as adventurous as you. I stick with what I know, so I don't mess up all the time.
Well, excuse me for trying to spice things up from time to time.
Sorry. Oh, that reminds me. I made a totally unadventurous dessert, too. Sweet roasted chestnuts.
What? Why didn't you say so earlier? Bring it out already. You really are the best, sir.
Is that?
C'est évident. It's a ball. This can't be. It's exuding a level of power on par with, no, even exceeding Diamante's. Yet there's been no word from Fort Lune. Did it penetrate the moon's defenses? No, Appleberry would never let that happen.
This is no time for panic, Magnolia. There's a ball in front of us, and we have to defeat it. That's all that matters right now.
Right. Let's focus on the battle before us. We can't let any sacrifice be in vain. Not now. Not ever.
Is everyone ready?
Let's do it. We're coming for you. Ball the first. Turtle Dove!
ridiculous! It was stronger than any ball I've ever seen.
What's happening in Caldisla? First our memories, now this ball?
I don't know. But we have learned one thing. Luxembourg still isn't free from the threat of the balls.
Au contraire, the threat is greater than ever. This ball made it past the moon's defenses almost entirely unscathed. This is Magnolia. We confirmed the presence of a new ball. We dispatched it at once, but...
Impossible! We haven't let any balls through!
I suspected as much. Somehow it eluded the moon's scanners entirely.
Preposterous! No ball has ever slipped through Fort Loon's defense system undetected.
Until now, this demands an investigation. This may not be an isolated incident. As a citizen of the moon, I have a duty to protect Luxembourg. That's right! Ballbuster Magnolia Arts will not take this threat sitting down!
Understood. We are counting on you, Magnolia.
I'm sorry, everyone. It looks like I'll be needing your help just a little bit longer.
Don't be sorry. We'll help you for as long as you need.
Yeah, there's no way we're letting these balls have their way with Luxembourg. Not after all we've done.
Merci, mes amis.
Are you okay, Tiz? I mean, Sir Tiz, how fare thee?
Oh, Egil! The dread beast that beset the villa has been slain.
Seriously? Man, Tiz, you really are a hero.
My friends, can you hear me?
Your Holiness.
Huh? Is that Ines' voice? Where is she?
Right in here. Say hello, Egil.
What? How'd she get stuck in there? Ines, I never knew a person could be shrunk so small. What are you doing here, Tiz? You gotta get her out of there.
Oh, Egil, have you been well?
Yeah. Wait, you're not in trouble?
Not any longer.
Agnes, what's going on?
I heard about your troubles in Caldisla, or I should say, I remembered.
So you'd forgotten Caldisla too.
I cannot explain these recent events, but they could have grave implications for our future. I am traveling to Caldisla as we speak. Let us meet with the king together.
Certainly, Your Holiness. We'll meet you at the castle.
Whoa! Where'd she go? So it's some kind of communication device? Whoa, that's so high-tech!
That was great!
More like totally delicious. You've become a real master chef, Magnolia.
Vraiment? You're so kind.
Didn't you learn a new recipe from Sakura just the other day?
She did. It started with Alfred's recipe, remember? Then you got Martha at the dorms to share her secrets. You're practically a culinary expert now.
Anyway, I better clean up.
I'll help.
Merci. But it's quite all right. I believe the cook should also clean up.
Oh, I'm so stuffed I can hardly move. I'm just gonna conk out right here.
You shouldn't sleep right after eating, you know.
Yeah, well, what happened to eat, sleep, and be merry, huh?
That's, eat, drink, and be merry.
For tomorrow we die.
What? Who's dying?
No one, we hope. Which is why we don't want you sleeping on a full stomach.
Anyway, we'll be back on the rub-a-dub soon. I can't wait to have a good long soak.
I love the bath oil Sakura adds. The aromas are so refreshing.
She has so many different kinds, too. Rose, orange blossom, pomegranate, wild fig and ginger, and even champagne.
Yes, sir. I could stay in the baths all day and night, looking up as the sun gives way to the stars.
Yep, soaking in a warm bath from dawn to dusk. Wouldn't that be the life?
Did you say warm water? Are you completely nuts? A bath has to be so hot you can barely stand it. Then when it feels like you can't breathe anymore, you jump out and douse yourself with cold water. That's a real bath.
So all that splashing and shrieking coming from the ladies' bath was you.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Idia's on the mark. I mean, sitting in a warm bath for hours is nice, but it does get a bit boring.
Exactly. What's the point if you just end up dozing off?
But don't you get tired leaping in and out of water that's either too hot or too cold?
Oh, no. It's not tiring. It's refreshing. Especially when you cap it off with...
An ice cold latte.
Exactly. Knocking back an iced latte so cold you can barely taste it.
Or you could just have a coffee.
Sir, coffee and cafe latte are completely different.
I think I can finally understand you.
And you, my dear Idia. Your Holiness, you're already here.
Caldusla disappeared from our memories, only to appear again all of a sudden. Something is amiss here.
Indeed. And the king has just shared with me an equally disturbing tale.
Do tell.
For those of us on the outside, it was as though Caldisla suddenly returned to our memories. But for the people of this land, it was the existence of the rest of the world which came back to them only now.
A most curious state of affairs indeed. I ask of you, Vestal of Wind, beg pardon, Your Holiness, I would hear your counsel. Whatever should I and my kingdom do?
Your Highness, I thank you for welcoming me back to Caldisla with such warmth. As for your question...
I'm glad your arm's feeling better.
My arm? Yes, it's fine.
That's a load off. Seeing you run about all the time, sometimes I get worried.
I'm simply doing my duty. I do not find it a burden.
So come on, spill it. Did you find out anything about Yoko?
Yoko? What are you...
But what do you think, Idia?
Huh? I think, sorry, what are we talking about?
Honestly, Idiot, this is a serious meeting between world leaders.
We were discussing how the balls might be appearing.
Never mind how they appear. We don't even know where they come from.
That's true. And even if we did know, something is clearly different this time.
There are just too many things we don't understand about these balls.
I'm sorry. I should know more.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Magnolia. It's not your fault.
Our heroes, surely you must be exhausted after such a harrowing battle. Pray, stay the night and rest yourselves.
Quelle deception. And I call myself a ball buster. What do I truly know about the balls? I never even thought to ask.
Please, don't blame yourself, Magnolia. I'm no better. I knew nothing about the true Crystal Guard. Nothing about my own brother.
You. Thank you.
Oh, there must be someone out there who can give us a clue, right?
Do not judge a carrot by its leaves, nor a man by his words alone. True value is rarely apparent on the surface, you'll find.
It's a ghost!
My young friends, it would seem you have questions about the balls, and I may very well have answers. It is, well, comme ci, comme ça. Would you start with the good news or the bad?
Oh, this never ends well. All right, give us the good news first.
The good news is that, yes, I have finally uncovered the truth behind the balls.
Ah, la vache! You have? And what is it?
I'm afraid that brings us to the bad news. I believe, no, I am convinced, that the balls are the unresolved feelings of my dearest Vega given life.
C'est horrible. How can this be? Vega was your beloved, no? The one you left behind in the celestial realm?
The same. And the balls that threatened to destroy Luxemdark. As much as I am loath to admit it, they were born of our shared memories.
Your memories created the balls? How is that even possible?
It is only a theory, but I believe that Vega even now harbors feelings of deep yearning and remorse. And that someone, something, has seized upon these emotions, giving them physical form as weapons of mass destruction.
What a monster! Manipulating someone's feelings for such a terrible purpose.
You can say that again. So, this means that the balls come from the celestial realm?
That would be the only reasonable assumption.
That settles it. Altair, let's go to the celestial realm and save Vega from this nightmare.
Oh, a most kind offer, you. And yet I fear it is not so simple. I too long to see my Vega again, so I searched and searched for a way to reach the celestial realm, to no avail.
We'll just have to keep trying then. Never say never until you're dead.
A sentiment I shared, my dear you, which is why I kept trying, kept searching, until my death.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
A joke, my dear boy, a joke!
So you're just going to give up? You've carried on all these years in the hopes of seeing Vega again. Now you're just going to accept how things are?
Oh, of course I do not accept it. How could I accept my beloved being used as an instrument of destruction? I want to help her with all my heart, I do, and yet... My friends, might I beseech your aid?
Whoa, why so formal? Of course you can. Magnolia here is a ballbuster after all.
And even if I weren't, I would help. Anyone who'd use another's love for the purpose of evil deserves to get theirs.
Right. You've been our friend from the start, Altair. We've been through so much together. We're not giving up on you now.
Your friend? Oh, thank you, my dear children. As a matter of fact, I unearthed a new clue since coming to this place. A fairy named Anna.
Right. It was as if Diamante was under her control.
And she mentioned something about her master, didn't she?
I think we've seen enough to know that she's involved up to her eyeballs.
Then our course of action is clear. Search out Anna, my young friends. With all my heart. Bonne chance.
So there was a path between Luxendark and the Celestial Realm right here. What a delightful surprise. I've been having so much fun taking out the moon that I never even thought to look for one. But this changes everything. Why, from a place like this, I can summon balls and balls galore. Those moonies can't do a thing for Luxendark if my balls come through here. They'll be pumped and primed for battle. And not only that, oh no, it might even be possible for my lord to descend upon Luxendark from here. The only fly in the ointment is you, Jenny Olja, and his stupid friends. They've interfered with me every step of the way. Why, they've even recovered memories from alternate dimensions. That's basically cheating, you know. How are they doing it? Is it that hourglass they have? No, that alone wouldn't explain it. Ugh! What is their little secret? The keystones are all in place. And yes, the door's unlocked.
What does that mean?
My guess is someone must be inside.
Let's have a look around. Be sure to wrap up warm, Magnolia. It's freezing inside. I don't know how this castle manages to be colder on the inside than the out.
You've been here before, Idia?
Yeah, with Agnes and Tiz.
Look, what's that?
This helm. Alternus!
Stay strong, Idia. I'm sure he's all right. Let's go look for him. Look, this painting.
Yoko?
Remember what Alternus said? He was going after Yoko. Why, if it isn't our loyal Minister of the Right.
What? Yoko?
Yoko! If you laid a hand on Alternus, I'll...
Idia, don't do anything rash.
Wise advice. We think you would do well to listen. Your knight in not-so-shining armor is fine. At least he seemed healthy, running away as fast as his legs could carry him. But enough talk about him. We are much more interested in you. Perhaps you are aware that Vampire Castle is known by another name. The Hall of Truth, where the curious can learn all there is to know. Yet some truths are not so easily faced. What of you? Would you cast off your blissful ignorance and face the truth? Then make for the floors above, but be forewarned. Before you can learn the truth, you must prove yourself worthy of it. 'Tis, do not think you can avoid the dangers that you would encounter in this place. Within these walls, the powers of Luxendark's gods will not avail you. This is our realm. We make the rules, and you have no choice but to play by them. It is only fair, yes? A truth learned through anything other than your own efforts is no truth at all. We shall await you above. Fare thee well.
The truth? What is she talking about?
Tiz, we don't have to do anything she says. But what about Alternus?
At last it's working.
Alternus! Thank heavens you're safe.
Yes, it was a close call, but I made it.
You should have known it was too much to handle by yourself. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Well, you...
Oh, you blockhead!
Well, at least we know Alternus is safe. What should we do now?
Well, I don't trust that girl at all. This could very well be a trap.
That is a possibility, yes. But what if she's telling the truth?
We were wondering how long you meant to keep us waiting.
But no matter, we shall keep our promise. This is the first truth. The tale of the ambitious man. How long did we lay in slumber, that first time that we slept? We awakened and opened our eyes to the sight of a man standing before us. This man, this ambitious man, had come to explore the shrine in which we slept. 20 years ago, another man, another ambitious man, came for us. He brought with him a young girl, and within her body encased our very soul. With this, his true goal would be realized. The man had come to plunder the shrine, to claim the treasures that had been offered to us over the ages. His expedition a success, the man assembled his fleet and set sail for Gathlatio, blissfully ignorant of the truth that within the girl's chest slept the seed of a deadly plague. Fever struck her only days into the journey. With haste, the fleet made for the nearest port. The man wanted to continue, but the girl's grandfather, the owner of the fleet, forbade it. Fearing that the girl carried a deadly disease, he appealed to the church, demanding that the girl be quarantined. The ambitious man wished to take the girl and his treasures home. He petitioned to the church for permission to set sail. The leaders of the church, unable to reach a consensus, sent for an exorcist. This exorcist, a man by the name of Geist, would free the girl of whatever evil possessed her. Those who sought to keep the girl in town thought they could use the ritual as a pretense to delay the fleet's departure. The other camp believed that once the ritual was performed, she would be cured, and there would be no more reason to hold her. And so it came to pass that a compassionate man, a covetous man, a merciful man, an ambitious man, and a wise man reached their decision. A terrible decision, the most sinful in history. The ritual was performed, and the ships were allowed to leave port. The merry fleet sailed on for Gathlatio, sowing the seeds of the plague across the realm. The name of that man, the ambitious man, who roused us from slumber, was none other than Greed Geniolja. Yes, your father.
What? You're saying that my father caused the Great Plague?
We promised you the truth, did we not? But why take our word for it? It is all here, writ in your father's own hand. If you have the courage to face the next truth, we shall await you above.
Wait, Yoko!
It took you long enough. Did you read your father's log? No matter. It is time you learned the second truth. This is the tale of the sinful ruling. The wise men opposed to moving the young girl hoped that the ritual performed by the exorcist Geist would delay her departure. This would prevent the plague from spreading.
But the ambitious man and covetous man were impatient and tried to foil their plan. Still, they could not stop Geist from reporting the girl's condition to the church's Office of Public Health. Upon receiving the report, the Office of Public Health ordered the girl quarantined and barred from further travel. Regrettably, it did not end there. The covetous man within the church appealed to the merciful man. The church should use their vaunted medicine to treat the girl, said he. And the ambitious man appealed to the loving man. The poor girl deserves the finest treatment the church can offer, said he. And so it came to pass. The merciful man and the compassionate man changed their minds. They ordered that the fleet be allowed to sail. And so the ships, with their treasure and the ailing child in tow, unfurled their sails and set a course for distant Gathalatio. The fleet berthed at many towns along the way, unwittingly sowing the seeds of death at every port of call. Only when they landed on their third continent did dire tidings reach the ears of the sailors. The first port they had docked at was in the grip of a terrible plague. Faced with a crisis and with morale low, Greed, your father, you, made a decision. He gave every sailor in the fleet a flagon of rum filled with poison. The men died, one after the next. Their ships, their treasure, the poor girl and her dear grandfather, all were swallowed by the waves. Perhaps the church had ordered that Eternia alone be spared. Who can say for sure? What we do know is that Greed, and Greed alone, made a triumphant return to Gathalatio. Though he had lost nearly his entire fleet, he had salvaged treasure enough to fill the church's coffers. He became a man of great standing in the church's hierarchy, and the very next year was blessed with his firstborn son.
Denny, my brother.
Yes. It was not long after this that the dark hand of the plague came to Eternia. But here, why not read for yourself your father's words? You have faced two truths. Have you the courage to face another? I await you in the halls above.
You do take your time. You have read your father's words, I trust? Very well. I shall share with you the third truth. This is the story, the true untold story, of the Great Plague. The first deaths were in the eastern reaches of Eternia, in a sleepy border village. The mourners grieved for their loved ones, their wails echoing through the mountains. Eventually, the cries faded away, and a stillness settled over the land. From the depths of time it had found us. The world we feared most had become reality. As death lay heavy on the land, a young priest named Brave petitioned his elders. He sought to use the power of the crystals to treat the sick, but his petition was denied. Instead, the church sealed off the high roads. It cut off the border villages, leaving countless people to suffer and die. Angered at the church for forsaking the village of his birth, Brave resigned from the priesthood. He did not, however, abandon his duty. First, he saw to it that his friend Norzen of the Office of Medicine was given full authority to investigate the origins of the plague. He planted Confederates in key positions, building a network that would allow him to monitor the inner workings of the church. In time, the plague released its grip on the world, though not because a cure had been found. It simply had no more victims to claim. Until, that is, the coming of the second pandemic. A second wave of terror swept over the world. A new strain of the plague emerged, threatening to complete the extinction begun by the first. Thus began a long battle which pitted Norzen and his researchers against the deadliest disease the realm had ever known. Their work was relentless. Many researchers and their families sacrificed their lives to the cause. Unwilling to put his men at risk, Norzen took to testing new treatments on his own body, losing one of his 5 senses in the process. Then, just before she herself succumbed, one researcher discovered a feline immunity that promised to neutralize the disease. She was able to transfer the antibodies to her daughter, a young girl named Minette. So it was that a vaccine was formulated that would bring the second pandemic to an end. The whole story is faithfully recorded here, in Greed's log. As the people came to learn of the terrible crimes committed by the church, its authority began to crumble. In desperate hope of regaining the faith of the people, the church issued a proclamation. It would attempt the grand ritual. It was this, more than anything, that spurred Brave the Templar to action. These events too are recorded in your father's log. Have you the courage to press on in search of the truth? Then you know where to find us.
Must you always keep us waiting so? But no matter. The fourth truth awaits you. We shall tell you of the trials of the White Lion. The Templar Braves' uprising took control of the capital of Eternia and the Temple of Earth, seat of the Church's power. The Church, having lost its ability to govern, eyes now turned to its military might, the disbanding of the Crystal Guard. Curiously enough, this order came from within, Greed Genealja, of one of the high houses of the Three Cavaliers. His motives were self-serving. Greed sought to protect his family and closest allies at the expense of all others. Houses Genealja and Camlin of the Disbander faction launched an attack on those who sought to keep the Crystal Guard intact. These opponents were led by two powerful houses that remained loyal to the order that Greed had begun to destroy. The two houses had in their service a swordsman, Jerome Balestra, whose skills were famed throughout the land. Balestra fought back bravely against the warriors of houses Genealja and Camlin. Almost single-handedly, he fended off waves of opponents, but in the end, he was just one man. Balestra's brave efforts were in vain. Gates were breached, castles and manors put to the torch. With his dying breaths, Balestra entrusted his boy Jan to the care of his loyal squire, a man by the name of Angard. At the same time, a young man named Nikolai, who had been tasked with leading one wing of the attack, gazed upon the hellish scene. Though he had only been following orders, he was haunted by guilt for what he had done. Though the once proud Crystal Guard was now but a name, Nikolai continued to serve, and serve proudly. He petitioned the church leaders for its revival, recruiting Jan and other comrades to his cause. Was it all to atone for that day? But that is a story for another time. Now, we return to the tale of the White Lion. The Genealja and Camlin clans defeated their foes one by one, growing their power through bribes paid for with plundered gold. But disbanding the Crystal Guard had unforeseen and tragic consequences in the neighboring regions of Eternia. Unemployed soldiers turned to banditry, pillaging the villages that had survived the plague. Concerned that public order was breaking down, houses Genealja and Camlin formed their own private armies to put down the bandits. Their armies grew mightier and mightier. Among those promoted through the ranks were men who claimed to have destroyed the home of the witch that had caused the Great Plague. How many villages were razed to the ground to restore the illusion of peace? One tragedy giving rise to the next, a never-ending spiral of death and destruction, and at the root of it, one man's ambition. Jan, Nikolai, Bella, so much pain, so much suffering. So much sacrificed for the glory and might of House Genealja.
This can't be true.
Stay strong, you. You had nothing to do with any of this. But in the end, wealth and power could not buy immortality. The ambitious man, the foolish man, died of a common illness. So ends the story of Greed Genealja. Oh, how he entertained us so. But you do not look so well. Mayhap the truth has taken its toll? Then I would advise you go no further. Farewell, my Minister of the Right. It has been so very delightful.
Wait, I remember this blade.
The sword of the brave. I expected you sooner, but you have come, despite our warning. You need not explain yourself. When the truth sings, who can resist its siren call? Let me tell you my story. I am a presence once known as a yokai. What does the word mean? Nothing to me. I am I, nothing more, nothing less. I belong to and am beholden to no man. I have but one desire, to change this world we live in. Only those who have achieved true growth can lift the world to a higher plane, the next layer. So has the tapestry of history been woven, and so it shall continue to be. True growth means accepting all within you, seeing through the lies you tell yourself, and becoming that which you were meant to be. In that sense, one could also say, the more that is sealed away within your heart, the greater and stronger you might still grow. But few have the courage to brave the dark depths within their heart and achieve their true potential. Many have tried, and most have met with fates worse than death. Oh, but there is one heart I've yet to peek within, isn't there? Let us see what you are hiding from us, Idia.
My name is Idia Lee, daughter of the Grand Marshal of Eternia. For so long I was proud of myself, of my position, of my family. But 2.5 years ago, I turned my back on it all.
And why did you do this?
I just couldn't accept what the Duchy was doing.
Is that the whole reason? Or was it because you wanted to assert yourself, to claim your own identity?
No,
Were you seeking someone's approval? Tell me.
My father. I wanted his recognition.
Very good, Idia. Now let us go deeper. Loneliness. That is what you feel deep in your heart.
That's not true!
Of course it is. You do your best to hide it, of course. You smile and play your role. But Agnes has Tiz. Magnolia has you. Musser has Brave. Eleanor has Commander Goodman. Amy and Panettone. Holly and Barris. You see their joy, and you feel loneliness, sadness, fear.
Stop it!
For you had someone too, but he left you far, far behind. You will never see him again. The one you cared for more than anyone else in this world. And what hurts most of all is that he chose to leave you. You told yourself you were strong, that you would be fine on your own. Alone forever, with no one to stand by you. Not now, not when you grow old, not when you die. This is your truth, is it not, Idia?
I miss him. Ring a bell.
Idia!
Ring a bell?
In the flesh. I'm sorry, it isn't like me to keep a lady waiting. You, alone? Nonsense. I've always been at your side, Idia. In Geyser Grotto, in Florum, even in Kaldisla. I never forgot you, not for a fleeting moment. Don't believe me? Here, have a look at my journal.
It's always about you, isn't it? I hate you!
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to tease. Now, shall we return together?
Ring a bell? It's you!
You were Ring-a-Bell? That Ring-a-Bell?
The one and only. But the merry reunion can wait. I believe we have a fox to catch.
You mean Yoko?
Precisely. Locked in battle with the Plains Wardens, my comrades.
Plains Watsons?
What are you even talking about?
I suppose now is as good a time as any to explain. I am forbidden from divulging classified information, but I will tell you what I can. We Plains Wardens are, as our name implies, the wardens of many and myriad planes of existence. That didn't quite clear things up? Allow me to elaborate. The tale would be best heard from Yoko herself, but this is one truth that fox won't be so generous about sharing. She spoke of a wish to change the world, yes? To make it a better place? She lies. She exists only to create chaos and to revel in it. She uses our guilt, our sins, real and perceived, to achieve her nefarious ends. Do not listen to her deceitful words. Growing as a human being is about more than dredging up old fears and traumas. After our encounter in Geyser Grotto, I contacted my superiors. Apparently, Yoko has been designated by our department as an S-rank malevolent spirit of concern. It would seem she's been lurking on this planet for 4.6 billion years, give or take.
Are you sure that information isn't classified?
The point is, I intend to defeat her and close the book on her villainy. But I'll be needing your help to chase her down, my friends.
Of course! You can count on us.
But just look at you. A Plains Warden. Whatever that is, I guess you're moving up in the world.
And you'd expect any less from me? Now, let's go catch this fox by the tail. No matter what the cost, I must defeat her. Yes, I must. So that none need lose another of their loved ones again. Ah, that was simply scrumptious. My road has been a lonely one. It is comforting indeed to dine in the company of friends once more.
Here's your coffee, Sir Ring-a-Bell.
Thank you, my boy. Harina Mountain Blend. Ooh, these are fine beans indeed.
Well, I think I'll clean up. Care to help, Magnolia?
Oh, of course. You keep rubbing your arm. Has your wound healed?
Oh, more or less.
You've been watching over us. For all this time. He could have said something, you know. He could have told me it was you. Would it have killed you to come out and say, "Hey, Idia, I'm back"? Well, say it. Say it already!
Well, what are you waiting for?
You too, old friend?
Just say it, ring a bell.
Yes. I should have said it much earlier. To all of you. I'm back, my friends.
There. Was that so hard?
Good to have you back, ring a bell.
I should say something to Agnes, too.
She'd like that. I know she would.
You yourself. What are you doing there?
Her Holiness is in the bath. She asked me to take her calls. But then suddenly I had these bad stomach cramps and I had to run to the restroom. Yes, it was a close call. Ah, what am I saying? It's not important. What are you doing with India? Well, wait, that voice from my dream. After the Kaiser attacked, I was gravely wounded, delirious. I can scarcely move. Fear not, I shall protect them, the Grand Marshal and Idia both. That voice was...
That's quite enough, friend. I'm not interested in your, or any man's, dreams. Moving on to matters of greater import. Did you say Agnes was in the bath?
Yes, what of it?
Oh, well, this is a matter of the utmost urgency. I repeat, must speak to Her Holiness at once. And don't switch the camera off. To her side, quickly, man.
Camera? I don't understand.
No, wait!
Shall I put a muzzle on you, ring a bell?
Aha, forgive me. It was an innocent slip of the tongue.
Tell us, ring a bell. After all that happened, did you find the world you were looking for?
Why, yes. Yes, I did.
Wait a minute. The chasm disappeared, right? So how'd you get here?
Now that's a long story.
I'd be interested in hearing it.
And hear it you shall, my fair lady. You see, I wanted nothing more than to protect my dear Idia here, and so...
Then why didn't you show your face? Why did you hide from me, you heartless pig?
Yo, whoa, let go! Idia, mercy!
Huh? You? What's the matter?
The croissants! The ones I set aside for breakfast, they're gone! Idia!
What? I didn't touch them!
And with that, let's get going.
Late as ever.
Foul demon, prepare yourself.
Prepare myself? For what, little man? When last I saw you, you were down below, cowering in terror.
Cowering? Hardly. Anyhow, I've returned, and I've brought my friends.
Ring a bell? Your wounds are still fresh. Leave Yoko to us.
That's right. You've done enough for us. It's time we returned the favor. Right! Ring a bell, you provide backup, okay?
Monsieur Plainswarden, stand back and watch a ball-buster in action.
But this was supposed to be my time to shine. All right. Go get her. And know that you have the best backup any dimension has to offer. Now, is everyone ready?
I am alone. I belong to no one, and to nothing.
I have no need of names, but you may call me Yoko, the yokai. You wish to hear the truth? Then prove yourselves worthy of it. Claim it with your own strength, and the truth shall be yours.
I vow to protect you, no matter what. I believe it's...
You, Geniolja, scion of the ambitious man. You struggle to free yourself from the weight of your family and its blood-soaked past. You, Geniolja, son of the villain who unleashed the Great Plague. Spawn of evil, how many lives has your great house ruined? Your family, friends, benefactors, how many fates have they twisted? Yet still you fight on, certain of your cause. Fight on, spawn of evil. Fight and carry on your legacy of sin.
Shut up! Founder is founder! And my father is my father! They have nothing to do with me!
Yes, yes. Deny your past and bring about a revolution.
That's not what I mean!
Oh, but you sound so much like them. Dreaming of revolution, burning with ideals, and drowning in sentiment. Like father, like son.
Enough!
I'll strike like a thunder god to the heart. This is a man's highest calling. Ladies, to my side! I shall protect you!
You are strong. You would bear witness to the final truth. Then go forth. It is yours for the seeing. Late again. Although measured against my own eternity, 2 decades is barely the blink of an eye. In that sense, you are ahead of your time, you Genealja. To tell the story of Founder, we must go back far, far into the past. Yes, this is a tale from the far side of time. One day, 2 people came sailing in on a glimmering ship. I took quite a liking to these travelers from another world. I guided them through this world of ours as they sought a way back to their own. None of us foresaw what would happen next. It happened in a laboratory on board their vessel. A rare disease from their world somehow became mixed with a deadly illness from ours. The seeds of what would come to be known as the Origin Plague multiplied at breathtaking speed, spreading beyond anyone's control. If left unchecked, the plague would claim all life on this planet, everyone I loved. So I took the seeds of disease within me and begged the 2 to seal me away. And then I slept. Months and years and centuries passed. For 1,000 eons I slumbered. In time, the people came to believe that the cave in which I slept housed a god. They built a shrine at its entrance. The dynasty that built the shrine prospered, built a mighty civilization, then fell, as dynasties are wont to do. Through it all, I slept, forgotten, until some 24 short centuries ago. Founder came and roused me from slumber. He heard my story. He spoke to me. I can do nothing for you, he said. But someday one of my line will find a cure for the plague within you. Yes, someday he will come for you. So he said, as tears welled in his eyes. At last, at long, long last, I will be free of this curse. Such was my final thought as I drifted back to sleep. I slept again, a shorter slumber. 2 decades ago, I awoke to see greed standing before me. When I saw the ambition in his eyes, I knew. He was the one of whom Founder had spoken. As my forefather promised, so have I come. He spoke, answering the question I dared not ask. Greed flattered himself, believing he was the man destined to be my rescuer. He meant to sail me to Gathalatio, that he might there find the cure for the plague inside me. But such hope was short-lived. The plague spread and spread quickly, and so he sunk me, sunk all of us to the murky depths of the sea. He did this that Gathalatio, Eternia, and humanity itself might be saved. In his eyes, too, welled those pained tears. Yes, just like Founder before him. I understood everything but said nothing. Once again I closed my eyes. As the waves claimed me, I could hear him cry out, "I shall put an end to this foul plague." After that, Greed's heart turned cold. Kindness, human affection, such emotions were lost to him. They had sunk to the lonely depths, along with his ships, one girl, and countless treasures.
Father.
Do not cry, you. Strange as it may seem, I am grateful to Greed and to Founder both. Because of Founder, who woke me from slumber, I was able to learn that an old friend was safe. And Greed's heartless decision did help bring the second pandemic to an end. Greed and Founder, 2 men of ambition. For better or worse, they changed the course of history and shaped this world. Now it is your turn, you. Yes, I will be watching with interest to see how your chapter of history plays out.
Thank you, my friends. You've been most cooperative. Idia, you have my gratitude.
Wait, what's going on? This better not be another goodbye.
Forgive me. Strictly speaking, I was not supposed to reveal my identity in the first place. Because this pocket we're in belongs to Yoko, we were able to make an exception, but only for a short time.
No! Just stop right there! You can't leave me again!
Idia, I never left you and I never will. It's like I said after all. Wherever, whenever you are in peril, there I will be.
Ring a bell.
But before I go, I have a task for you, Magnolia.
Me? What would that be?
Yoko, with her unearthly powers, held sway over the sins of mankind. But now that she has left us, these sins will be unleashed, free to run rampant over our world, in the form of fearsome beasts.
Oh, je comprends. Say no more. I've got it under control. As a ballbuster, protecting the peace of Luxemdark is my sworn duty. We shall find these beasts of sin and destroy them when we do.
If our information is correct, the beasts slumber. They sleep in great monoliths, stone monuments scattered across the land. Ah, and Tiz, I have a special request for you as well.
Of course, anything you say.
Tell Her Holiness Pope Agnes that Ringabel sends his regards. But I fear all good things must come to an end. And now I'd best be on my way.
Ring a bell, no!
Fear not, for we shall meet again. Till then, my friends, be well!
Beasts and monoliths?
What's the matter, Tiz?
I was thinking about what Ringabel said. About these beasts that have taken the form of monoliths.
You mean the monsters that appeared because Yoko isn't around anymore to control humanity's sins?
We shouldn't mess around. We need to find those monuments and get rid of these sin beasts before they cause real trouble.
D'accord, but first we must prepare for the trials ahead.